I just remembered that I had a whole phase. And you're probably thinking, like, well, why do you have to remember it? It's because it was very uneventful. Yeah, very much not. Not. You know? Do not judge me. Okay, I just want to share a little bit about myself. Like, this is some shit I haven't even told my big sister. So, bitch, this is exclusive. Okay, um, girl, let's get started. So, I was living in Denton at the time, and I just wanted to do something different, something that I've never done. So, I booked studio time. Um, girl, I booked studio time out in Deep Ellum. Girl, I got so cute. I was like trying to live for the moment, and I was just trying to have fun. So, I go to Deep Ellum. Girl, I put in the little beat that I was given because it really wasn't. I didn't know what I was going in there for. I just really wanted to have fun and just like have the experience and see what it was like, and that's what I did. Um, Me and the sound engineer. Hopefully, I'm using the right term, or a music producer, whatever. Uh, we get to talking. Girl, he obviously not trying to hear shit about what I'm talking about this beat. He's just trying to yap off at the mouth just to like impress me and this and this and that. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let's see where this goes. I give him my number. We uh we went out to eat, girl. The most, let me tell y'all something right now. The most memorable thing about this whole interaction was the food. Just phenomenal. Phenomenal. 10 out of 10. The sushi was great, girl. It was so good. Um, we go back. We go to a hotel. Uh, Girl, I can't remember shit. It like the sex was so boring, and it just wasn't. I wasn't fulfilled sexually. So I was like, okay, so maybe this isn't for me. It's not for me. But let me tell y'all something, because it crossed my mind like a few months back. This nigga told me that he was living with his uncle, and so that's why he booked the hotel room, and I was like, what if this, bitch ass nigga has a woman at home? And like, I was like, did this man just use me to cheat on his girlfriend or his wife or whoever? And I was like, this was like, this thought was years after, because bitch, I was very gullible, obviously. Because I started thinking, being so serious, it did not cross my mind until years later. It did not. Um, but at the time, I was just like, I didn't enjoy this. I don't feel empowered. I don't feel beautiful. I felt very used. And let's not bullshit. Let's not bullshit. I obviously, I wanted to go on the date. I wanted to have sexual relations. Um, but the feeling that I got from it, I just felt used, because it's not like he was attentive to my needs, or attentive to my body. Um, it was just like he was just on top of me. Um, just fulfilling his needs. And I went home. I didn't beat myself up about it, because again, it was something that, I'm not gonna lie, it was something that I wanted to experience to see how it would go. And that was the result of it. And then it went dark. It was like a year, a year or so later. No, probably more. Because, girl, I don't really be needing like sex like that. It's not. It's, anyways. And then, girl, this next one was just so fucking stupid. It's just, anyways. So, you know, I met this bank teller. Like, I went into my bank, needed to have something done. And I thought the bank teller was handsome. And so we exchanged, phone numbers and stuff like that. Here's the thing though, we didn't even go on a date or anything like that. He came over to my place. I had moved to Arlington. Sorry, I had moved to Arlington at the time. And he had came over to my place. And here's the thing. Girl, he was really trying to convince me to not use condoms with him or like not practice safe sex with him. And I was like, I'm sorry, we're not having sex without any sort of protection. Because that makes sense, right? Like me wanting to protect myself from STDs and from potentially getting pregnant from some nigga that I don't know. But what pissed me off is he's like, I don't, like, he was trying to, like, he basically said that, he was basically trying to tell me that he doesn't use condoms with other women, or he hasn't used condoms with other women, as if I was just gonna, like, okay, like, I was just gonna have to be okay with that type shit. Like, it wasn't on no forceful type of timing or nothing like that, but it was like, you're trying to coerce me into not using a condom with you as if I need to have sex. And, like, that's fine. Here's the thing, though. And, ladies, this is very important. Girl, I was butt-ass naked. I was naked. Butt-ass naked. And this man was steady trying to convince me to not use a condom, not use a condom, not use a condom. And I just kept saying no. I kept saying no. And you know what that nigga did? He got the fuck out of my house. It was just simple as that. You're not gonna touch me without a condom on. I ain't get any, girl. No type of sexual anything was exchanged, because who you really feeling like? And then I went over to his place because I'm like, maybe he was bullshitting. Let me try again. Oh, my stupid ass talking about some second chance bullshit. I go over to his place, like it was like a college dorm, because he was in college at the time. Whatever, congratulations, whatever, fuck. And then we just watching shows and just hanging out. It was basically just us hanging out because, again, he was still on this no condom shit. Like, nigga, what in the fuck is this? And why do you think that I'm just like you not wanting to not use a condom with me, and I'm telling you that you're not going to touch me? Okay, he respected the fact that he wasn't going to touch me, but then nigga wasn't going to fucking touch me. Because that type of shit is reserved. Condomless sex is reserved for marriage. Condomless sex is reserved for marriage. Okay? And just because I'm out here trying, do a little bit of something, trying to experiment and this and that, doesn't mean that I am a whore. And so the nigga never got the cookie. Nigga never got the cookie, and that's okay. Ain't no loss on me, bitch. Like, so, hey, call it what I call it. Nothing. Nah. Anyways, a few months after that, this bald headed demon. Well, not really demon. But he just was not, like, he was this 45-year-old man. Girl, bald. Let's, come on, like, we all know how this is gonna go. Ah! Yeah! Anyways, girl, he took me out, like, on an actual date a total of once or twice. And then I would come over to his place. And then that was like, it was never really like anything like actually dating or anything. The nigga was not taking me seriously, obviously. Even though, you know, I was like, oh my gosh, he's really handsome. He's really cute. I mean, he doesn't seem like a loser. He has a job. And yeah, he had kids, but they were grown, they were older. Again, they were my age. And you're probably like, bitch, who are you feeling like fucking around with a 45-year-old? Like, honestly, I didn't want anything serious. But I did want to be taken seriously. Like, I wanted to be respected. And it wasn't all bad. But I'm like, this nigga is just like he's literally just keeping me around for entertainment purposes, or to just like show me off, or to just like for cool points and stuff. And I just like I did play along into it for a little bit too long. Like, the only kind of grace that I will give this man is that, you know, he did get into an accident and stuff like that. And I was trying to show support and, you know, doing girlfriend shit to a nigga that just was not my boyfriend and was not claiming me to be like his girl or whatever. Like, he was just somebody that, like, I was just somebody that he was talking to and fucking on, you know? And it just like, it really got to a point where like I was allowing myself to be disrespected, and over somebody that wasn't even my boyfriend. He wasn't even my boyfriend, and I'm over here doing like girlfriend wife shit. Like I'm really disrespecting myself. And like, we did stop having sex, you know, we did stop having sex. But before that, even when he was like touching me, even when we were having sexual relations, it just wasn't, again, it was like I didn't feel like I was being tended to. I just felt like he was on top of me, just like just using my body. And I allowed it. I allowed it to happen a few times, you know, just trying to feel wanted, trying to feel needed. And it's like, here I am waiting on a call, waiting on a text, waiting for a reply. And I was like, I was getting ready to move anyways. I was struggling. And, you know, I didn't expect him to actually like take care of me or whatever. Like, this is the type of gentleman where like he knows that he wasn't taking me seriously, and he knows that it wasn't going to be anything ever serious, but would lead me on. But here I am, you know, at the point where I kind of did. I wanted attention. I wanted to feel wanted. I was wanted, but I wasn't needed. You know what I'm saying? It was, you know, here I am doing girlfriend shit, doing wifey shit for somebody that was calling me his friend. And ladies, we start to click. It starts to click, and then we start to figure it out for the most part. Um, I was just like, this isn't making me feel good. I don't really feel like I'm being taken seriously. I feel like I'm a joke. You know, And here I am, kind of desperate for attention, wanting somebody to talk to me. I was just waiting around for this man to respond to me. And thank God I was getting ready to move across states, so that gave me reason to stop talking to him. Um, like, I like the whole dynamic was just very unhealthy to begin with, because here I am 22 or 23 or some shit, dealing with a 45-year-old man who has grown ass kids, who has one of his children, who has a child living with him. I had no problems with the kids. Um, I was very sweet. I was very kind, but I felt like I was just this thing to be around, to be like a toy. And then when he was touching me, when we were having sexual relations, it just wasn't. I was being I was being used. I was being used, and I was allowing myself to be used because I wanted attention. And I'm not gonna lie, the last time that I saw him, I was so happy. I was like, shit, I'm like, I have the easiest out. But here my stupid ass is, even after like I had moved, I literally moved across states and stuff like that. Still texting him, like waiting on something, like seeing if we can make it work when it was never anything to begin with. Like, bitch, what are you doing? Um, Girl, and then like I think a few days into me being, moving into the new state that I was at, I was like, what the fuck am I doing, bro? Like, bitch, what are you doing? Delete this nigga's number. Cause you know what? I was like, why am I expecting this man to still be calling me and still be texting me and still having me like trying to prioritize me? Why would I think that he would do that? That's L on me. That's L on me. But the last text message, the last conversation that we had, that was exchanged, it was like he was talking about some "I'll get back to you when I get back to you" type shit, and I was like, oh, bitch, how about you just don't get back to me at all? And I blocked him. I blocked him. I moved on with my life. I moved the fuck on with my life. Because, first of all, bitch, are you dumb? I didn't want to be a dummy bitch. Like, I didn't. Girl, but that's my very uneventful, very boring hoe phase. Like, God was just really like, he was really like, sit your goofy ass down. Sit your goofy ass down. Like, this is not something that you want to do. This is not healthy. You're not gonna get anywhere with this. And it's just like, so let me just go and like bitch, I gotta move you across states for you to figure it out. Like, come on. Like, I gotta move you across states for you to fucking like figure it out, to like choose yourself. And let me, before even any of this, before any of this, I was dating a fucking loser for like 2 fucking years. And then before that, we dated for like a few months, and then nigga just decided like, oh, we can be friends. And like we was doing like this friends with benefits bullshit. And in my head, I was like, oh, he's my boyfriend. He's my boyfriend. Bitch, no. But here's the thing, though. And I'm not gonna try to sound profound or whatever the fuck. It's 11 o'clock in the morning, and I just want to tell my story. Even before my whole phase, I was dealing with this boy for 2 years, and we had only actually dated 6 months out of those 2 years. Like, what the fuck was I doing? I lost my virginity at 19 years old to this fucking loser. Completely regretted it. I mean, I've forgiven myself for it. I have completely forgiven myself for it. But, like, thinking about it, when I do sit down and I start to think about it, it's just like, bitch, what are you doing? What were you doing? And you know, God forgive me, because I don't really like to say this about people, but this man was, excuse me, this boy was a loser, and he was not that smart. He was not that smart, y'all. It's just like, what the fuck? But bitch, when it started to click, when that ball started rolling, when them gears started to shift, bitch, I was so disgusted with him. I wasn't disgusted with myself, because I'm like, I was beating myself up, obviously, because I allowed you to just like, I allowed you to use me, and I allowed you to just like, I allowed myself to just keep up with this shenanigans. And it's unfortunate that it took 2 years, but even then, like, even when we were still like having sexual relations, it was just like, it wasn't good. It was just like, I'm allowing this boy to use my body for what? He's not showing me anything. He's not, as he got fired. He wasn't able to keep a job. Girl, this man, I accidentally got him fired from his job from Walmart because he had brought weed in, and he put it in my section without telling me, and it was very strong, and I smelt it, and me and my coworker, me and my ex-best friend at the time, were working in the clothing department, and we smelled like, what's that smell? We have never smelled like marijuana before. That's what it was. We bring it up to the goddamn store manager. It was his stuff. And he did not tell me. If I would have known that it was his, I wouldn't have said anything. But I really feel like that was just God. Like, here you go, girl. Like, let's get this ball rolling, bitch. Because, like, you're not going to figure it out on your own. Like, let's just get it started. And then I was like, this was not the point where I broke up with him, unfortunately. I was like, this nigga stupid. This nigga is a dummy. He brought weed in with him. Like, girl, like, this, like, he was the oldest of 3 boys. He wasn't helping his mom around the house. It was just like some real loser shit. Like, I think that I could confidently say that this nigga was a fucking loser. Now, if he is still at like now still that, I don't know, because I stopped fucking talking to his ass. But I had transferred to the gas station outside of the Walmart, because I wanted to just be alone or whatever. But then I started to feel unsafe because a certain gentleman would keep coming around, and so I just decided to transfer to overnight. But before I did that, I had just like had completely stopped talking to him. I was just like, I don't want to do this no more. I'm not like, I don't want to feel bad. I don't want to judge myself anymore. I don't want to allow him to use my body anymore. I think that he's stupid. I don't think he's smart. He's not a productive member of society. He's not making good decisions. He was attempting to be a drug dealer, and then that's when I was just like, nah, absolutely not, absolutely not. Um, and then he had cheated on me, just like real stupid shit. Like, girl, why have you? It's like, y'all see the bird shit. Like, y'all see the bird shit. Like, I'm glad I got my bird, got down and got my eagle on very, very, very early on. Even through all that, bitch, I made it out alive, and I made it out with no baby. Even as uneventful as my whole phase may have been, or it may seem, at the end of the day, I got nothing from it. I didn't get anything from it. Thank God I didn't get any babies or STDs, because I was safe and I was smart. But at the end of the day, I was still trying to find me in other people. And that just didn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I'm not going to find my worth through other people. It's internal. Especially not a fucking man. Especially not a fucking man. To have my time wasted, to have my body being used, and yes, it's something that I'm not going to say agreed, because I didn't agree to have my body used. I wanted it to be a mutual exchange, and I never got that, and I was just being siphoned from my time, my energy, my physical, just every element of my being. I was giving to men, to people who don't value me the way that I want to be valued. And I'm not going to try to find some type of prophetic fucking word. I'm not going to use big vocab. Like, bitch, I was allowing myself to be used, and I got tired of it. But it like, once I came to that realization, I'm just like, I haven't been, like, sex has just been completely warped for me. And I have to forgive myself for that, and I have to work through that. But it's I feel so, like, reserved, like, don't touch me, don't come near me. Like, after this, I'm gonna let it go, and I because I have to. I'm 25. I am 25 years old. I'm 25. I don't have to continue to beat myself up. I don't have to tell myself that I'm garbage, that I'm trash. I haven't been saying that, but I do have to confront this feeling of disgust and self-loathing, because it's really not healthy, and it's so unnecessary. Like, I'm punishing myself when I've punished myself enough. I'm no longer in that situation. I have freed myself from it. I have bettered myself because of it. I love myself. I didn't love myself back then, because I'm actively doing things to harm myself and to hinder my growth. But through it, I grew. I don't know. I just know that I'm never going back to that place. And I can't allow myself to go back to that place, because the thought of being used and being manipulated so that I can be used, it disgusts me. But it's not all me. It's them. It's them. They probably have never changed. They're probably still the same way, or fucking worse. I'm better for it. I am evolving into this well rounded woman, and I gotta bring it to God too. Like, I know that God does not hate me, and He does not like see me as this disgusting person the way that I saw myself. It's like, He's probably like, bitch, like, you put yourself through that, and I know that you were gonna put yourself through that, but I was never gonna allow you to fall so deep into it where you fully lose yourself. He allowed me to go through it so that I could come through it. I'm not trying to. Like, that's the best way that I can word it, bitch. I'm not. I don't have, like, one thing that I will up myself for. I figured it out sooner than later. I didn't allow myself to get trapped into a situation, and I left with my health. I I'm so proud of myself for that. And I I went into it and I got through it. But that was only by the grace of God. And I felt like it was something that I needed to go through so that I could know my worth, that I could start to fully lean into it. And I love myself so much now, you guys. I appreciate the fuck out of myself. And I'm just going to give glory to God that I did go through that situation, because I needed to learn to love myself, to choose myself. And the unfortunate thing about it, the one thing that I will say is that my my thoughts of sex and, like, sexual interactions has been a little shattered. And I don't know how I'm going to work through that. I don't know how I'm going to work through that, because I have such an aversion to being touched and to wanting to be touched. And in due time, I will work on that. And again, I have forgiven myself, and I am healing, and I have healed. Like, I've healed, but I'm obviously still healing, you know? Um, but I feel so good now. I feel so good about myself. I can proudly say that I learned something from it. And it did make me better. I hate that I put myself through that. And I hate that I allowed myself to be used. But through it all, girl, I'm finding myself. But that foundation, the foundation that I'm standing on right now, like I refuse to feel like that again. I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to feel manipulated. I don't want to feel like I'm just waiting around for somebody to see me the way that I see myself. But that's the thing though. They were treating me the way that I was viewing myself. Very sometimey, very inconsistent, very just I you know, I'm just keeping it real. I was being treated the way I was allowing myself to be treated the way that I saw myself. And that started to change once I started to value myself more, you know? And let me be honest, God allowed me to put myself through that so that I could begin to start my journey of self-discovery, self-love, and self-acceptance, you know? And he never left me. He always gave me the wisdom. He always put it on my heart that you know that you don't need to be doing this, and you know that it's not healthy, and you're hurting your own feelings. And so I'm gonna say that I'm grateful for it, because if I allow myself to continue to regret, it's gonna keep me trapped, and it's gonna keep me stuck in this place of self-loathing and disgust and self-hatred. And God doesn't hate me. God's intent was not so that I could hate myself or that he was going to hate me. He wanted me to learn to love myself. And mission fucking accomplished. But he didn't allow me to go too deep into it. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have been destroyed. I would have completely been destroyed. My mind would have been warped. But because I allowed myself to experiment and allowed myself to feel what I was feeling, yes, did it take too long for me to get there? No, not really, because bitch, I'm 25. I'm 25 years old. And bitch, you know what? I'm good. Bitch, hell yeah. Bitch, hell yeah. Bitch, I'm good. I learned from it and I'm better for it, bitch. Like, and let me tell you something. It's not a flex. It's really not a flex. But, like, niggas would come back and I would just leave them alone. I would just block them. I would just fucking block them. Like, I can leave. I can leave. I can leave a nigga alone. And that's a superpower, bitch. Okay. Be gentle with yourselves. Be gentle with yourselves and forgive yourself. God's forgiving you. He loves you. He doesn't want you to feel guilty. He doesn't want you to. I genuinely don't feel like God would want me to continue to beat myself up about a situation he already knew I was going to put myself through. That he knew I was going to get through. That he knew that I was going to figure out on my own, because I wanted to make the choice to do better, to be better, to not want to feel used, to not allow myself to like continue to hurt my own feelings. Like, I think that he would be very proud that I figured it out. And so I'm going to be proud of myself that I figured it the fuck out. And that I decided to choose myself. And again, although it is unfortunate that my view of sex and physical touch has been warped, And that's something that I have to work on. And that's something that I really have to work on that, you guys. But I'm beautiful. I am beautifully made. I am worthy of love. I'm worthy of truth. I'm worthy of peace. I'm worthy of a love that is going to love me for a fucking lifetime. That's going to make me feel safe. That isn't going to make me feel disgusted by myself. You know what I'm saying? And we're all worthy of that. Period. I want everybody to love and feel loved equally. I want people to feel the love that I don't know. I just want everybody to be happy and to have the relationships that they deserve, you know what I'm saying? I want everybody to treat themselves like they're fucking priceless. Like, we're all beautiful, we're all amazing beings, and we just like if you have a whole phase, if you don't have a whole phase, don't judge anybody, period. Whether your whole phase was on a different intensity as somebody else's, you still have no right to judge. Okay? It's just, it's human. It's human. It is human. And that's oh fucking K. The problem is when you see the issue and you stay in it and you allow yourself to still be abused and used and tarnished, you're hurting God's child. Stop hurting yourself. Stop hurting yourself. Just protect your heart. Protect your love. Protect your body. Protect your mind. Because at the end of the day, that does affect you. It does, regardless, period. It doesn't matter. As much as you try to tell yourself that, oh, I'm fine, it's not going to faze me. It does. It does. But listen, if you're out there and you're doing your thing and you feel empowered for that, and that's good for you. That's great. I'm glad that it's working out for you. Okay? Just please be safe. Just please be safe. All right, I'll let y'all go. Y'all have a good night, day, evening. Y'all be smooth.